From large underwater structures to unknown sounds and creatures that are unexplainable, the ocean is enigmatic. The ocean seems to intrigue you and I, so why don't we explore some mysteries to enhance both of our knowledge about this desolate space we call the ocean. The further and further me and you go into the unwavering depths of this iceberg, the more and more twisted and corrupt it gets, as each entry seems to get darker and darker. And if you don't know what an iceberg is, let me explain it to you. It is a chart going from well-known theories to completely dark and unknown theories as we go deeper and deeper down the chart. This is the Deep Ocean Mysteries Iceberg, explained. This entry is referring to the fact that 80% of the ocean is actually unexplored. As unnerving as this may be, it might be a good thing that what is down there is hidden to us at the moment. Ocean exploration is also relatively new, so it's taken human civilization some time to start exploring this other world just next to us. Atlantis. Atlantis was an island mentioned by one of the greatest philosophers to ever exist, Plato. Plato described Atlantis as an empire that ruled all of the Western world. With all the riches and wealth anyone could ever have, Atlantis was unstoppable. Until the island and all of its kingdoms had a dispute with the gods. As punishment, Atlantis was swallowed by the ocean, never to be seen again. Kraken. The Kraken is a mythological sea creature resembling a gigantic cephalopod, supposedly lurking in the cold waters between Norway and Iceland. This animal is apparently capable of taking down huge ships and vessels. The colossal squid does exist, but who knows if there is something bigger out there. The Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle is an anomaly, something to be feared, as real disappearances have happened in this strange corner on Earth. The Bermuda Triangle is a triangle-shaped region stretching from Florida, the island of Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. This triangle puts fear in many, as a large amount of mysterious disappearances have occurred within this space, including aircraft and naval vessels, such as the USS Cyclops that sunk deep in the ocean in March of 1918, all thanks to this disturbing urban legend. Megalodon. Megalodon, meaning big tooth, was an incredibly large mackerel shark roaming in our oceans some 23 to 3.6 million years ago. The Megalodon was a literal sea monster, coming in weighing at 48 tons. That may not sound like a lot of weight to you, but the Megalodon on average weighs the same as 500 men. It also reached staggering lengths of up to 67 feet. This beast was feared throughout the oceans, tearing up local cetacean populations. The Megalodon's teeth have been used for thousands of years. There is still some speculation on whether the Megalodon is really out there. Who knows until we take a look. Thalassophobia. Thalassophobia in Greek, meaning sea fear, is the unwavering fear of deep bodies of water, such as lakes, oceans, or the sea. Thalassophobia can be terrifying, as seeing deep sea water can send you into a panic and mental anguish. Having deep fear of water isn't something new though. Us humans have a primitive response to the unknown, so thalassophobia is really an enhanced version of deep ocean fear. Only a select amount of you watching might have thalassophobia. Thalassophobia is truly quite terrifying. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch is a vortex of sea debris. The sea debris swirls around a specific area in the Pacific Ocean. The amount of trash this vortex holds actually seems to block satellite imagery and people going through the area on boats or people diving. In 2015, researchers found that most of the plastic is coming from countries in Asia, such as China, Indonesia, the Philippines, Vietnam, Sri Lanka, and Thailand. As humans, we really need to do better. Green flash. The green flash is a meteorological visual phenomena that will sometimes occur around sunset or sunrise when everything is set into place. A green spot is briefly visible above the sun's top. The green spot only lasts for around 2 seconds. These green flashes can be seen at any altitude. Loch Ness Monster. The Loch Ness Monster is a sea creature that inhabits the Scottish Highlands, according to Scottish folklore. It is described as a pliosaur. A pliosaur is an order of extinct marine reptiles that dated as far back as the latest Triassic. The earliest sighting of the Loch Ness Monster was in the 7th century AD, as the science community seems to disprove its existence. Nobody actually knows if it's out there or not. Milky Sea Phenomenon. The Milky Sea phenomenon is a luminous occurrence where parts of the ocean appear to glow in a bluish hue. These instances of Milky Seas are even spotted by satellites orbiting Earth. This strange occurrence usually happens in the northwestern Indian Ocean, very close to Somalia. The Milky Sea phenomenon is caused by luminescent bacteria that lights up the sea. Microalgal blooms also aid in this bright blue sea effect. Bloop. Bloop was an ultra-low frequency sound detected by the United States National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration in 1997. The sound is believed to be caused by a gigantic marine creature that we haven't yet discovered. Here, I'll let you listen in on Bloop. The NOAA have stated that they believe that the sound was created by tectonic cryosystems originating from glaciers moving. Let me know in the comments whether you believe them or not. Tsunami. A tsunami is an onset of violent waves of water. A tsunami can be caused by natural events or by human interaction. Earthquakes are often the main cause of tsunamis, as the earth quickly deforms as a reaction to this abrupt change, and then it turns into an onslaught of vicious waves that can and will kill hundreds of thousands of people. The 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami had at least 230,000 casualties. Water can be so calming, yet so destructive at the same time. Osborne Reef. The Osborne Reef was an effort to create an artificial reef off the coast of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Originally being made out of concrete, this ambitious project used old and unwanted vehicle tires. This project failed, as it was hurting the environment rather than creating a reef for fish and other ocean life to use. Since this failure, the US military had to get involved to remove some of the 1 million tires used to create this reef. They ended up removing 75,000 tires before giving up. The contract was then given to a corporation that ended up removing around 250,000 tires in 2019. Lake of Despair. The Lake of Despair is a large pit of heavily heated brine water and methane gas found at the bottom of the Gulf of Mexico. It is so hot, in fact, that large crabs and giant isopods have been found dead within the pit. The pit will kill anything that decides to wander in. Not very much is known about this phenomenon, but it's also been discovered that the water is 5 times more salty than the surrounding ocean around it. Anything that does decide to walk into the underwater lake will most likely die of asphyxiation due to there being a very small amount of oxygen in the pit. Kaz-2. The Kaz-2, also dubbed as the Ghost Yacht, was a small vessel containing 3 men, Derek Batten, Peter Tunstead, and James Tunstead. These men were inexperienced, besides Derek Batten, who had some experience in sailing. On the 15th of April 2007, the Kaz-2 departed from Airlie Beach, Australia. Its destination would be Townsville, in Queensland, Australia. While on the way to Western Australia, problems would suddenly arise. On April 18th, a helicopter had spotted the Kaz-2 drifting towards the Great Barrier Reef. The ship's crew appeared to be in danger. On the 20th of April, the Coast Guard would find the ship and board it. They found all 3 men missing in circumstances they deemed as strange. The boat still looks as if it was still in operation, as food was left on the table and the laptop had been left there. It was still running and the boat's engine was on. Even its life jackets and navigational systems were still functioning. Some of the only signs of a disturbance was one of the boat's sails had been badly shredded and there was no life raft on board. It was unknown if the boat ever set sail with a life raft included. The 3 men are still missing to this day. Submechanophobia. Submechanophobia is a strong fear of man-made objects underwater, such as submerged submarines. Submechanophobia symptoms may include muscle tension or body aches, increased blood pressure, inability to concentrate, and sensations of choking. Many more symptoms afflict those who suffer with this phobia. Rogue waves. Rogue waves are extremely large sea waves that are quick to form and they are unpredictable. Rogue waves can even challenge and damage large sea vessels. Rogue waves can be caused by extremely high winds and strong currents. There is no real direct cause to this natural phenomenon. Rogue waves differ to tsunamis because tsunamis tend to be caused by rapid displacement in the earth beneath the water, thus creating the water to react violently to such stimulus. Rogue waves are more than twice the height of regular waves. Mary Celeste. The Mary Celeste was an American merchant ship which was discovered drifting and abandoned in the Atlantic Ocean on December 4th, 1872. On November 7th, 1872, the ship had set sail from New York to Genoa, Italy. On board, there were 11 people: the captain, his wife, his young daughter Sophia, and another 8 unknown crew members. Less than a month later, a passing British ship called the Gratia spotted the Mary Celeste at full sail and drifting 400 miles east. None of the crew were on the ship, including the captain and his family. The ship was undamaged and loaded with up to 6 months' worth of supplies. People on board the Mary Celeste were never found or heard from again. Giant oarfish. The giant oarfish is considered to be the longest bony fish in the world, coming in at a length of around 50 feet. The giant oarfish is something of an ocean myth, rarely being seen due to this fish living at around 3,000 meters deep. This is so deep, in fact, the sunlight can't even reach the water at these depths. This means that the giant oarfish swims around in complete and utter darkness, never knowing what it could bump into next. HMS Daedalus Sea Serpent. The HMS Daedalus was a British warship in use from the 23rd of July 1817 to September 14, 1911. On the 6th of August 1848, Captain McQuay and his crew witnessed a giant sea serpent, which was reported rather quickly. The serpent came in at a length of around 20 meters, or about the length of 5 cars. The shaken crew managed to describe the serpent by saying it was dark brown and had a yellowish white colour around its throat. It was also spotted moving at 14 miles an hour. This was clearly a living monster. About 160 years later, in 2015, Gary J. Galbraith concluded that what the HMS Daedalus saw wasn't a sea serpent, but a sei whale. Purple orb. A mysterious purple orb was found while the exploration vessel Nautilus was out underwater in the deep Californian coast one night. The researchers on board seemed excited at a new discovery of a creature never documented before. The researchers sucked up the purple orb with a suction tube, and it was sent off to the Harvard Museum of Comparative Zoology for a deeper look on what this thing is. Baltic Sea Anomaly. Baltic Sea Anomaly is a strange sighting seen on a sonar image captured by a treasure hunting team on the floor of the Baltic Sea. This strange artifact has some people thinking it is an ESON anti-submarine device. Other people think it is a sunk UFO. The Swedish Ocean X diving team discovered this object, and ever since, mystery shrouds this unknown artifact. Devil's Sea. The Devil's Sea, also known as the Dragon's Triangle, is a region in the Pacific Ocean. It is shrouded in mystery, as many compare it to the Bermuda Triangle. The Devil's Sea resides off the coast of Japan. Despite the fear associated with this area, not many ships have gone missing here, or we just haven't discovered them. Mariana Trench. The Mariana Trench is a deep-sea ocean trench in the western Pacific Ocean. It is known as the deepest ocean trench ever discovered. It is freezing in the trench, as its known temperature is between 1 and 4 degrees Celsius. It's also found within the Challenger Deep, the deepest known seafloor in the ocean. Both of these areas are over 10,500 meters deep, meaning that barely any life can actually survive down there. Except there are some creatures that call the abyss home. Underground ocean. Scientists recently discovered that the Earth has an underground ocean. Deep underground exists an ocean that is as large as every single ocean on Earth combined. Researchers discovered that in the Earth's mantle, deep below the Earth's crust, exists a mineral called brucite. Brucite stores this water. This information changes the way we know how our planet was made. Julia. Julia was a deep-sea sound recorded on March 1st, 1999 by the United States National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. The known cause of this sound was most likely a giant iceberg that had run aground from Antarctica. The sound lasted 2 minutes and 43 seconds. Here is the sound, Julia. (1968) submarine disappearances. In 1968, 4 submarines mysteriously disappeared. The submarines' names were the INS Dhaka, an Israeli submarine, Minerve, a French submarine, K-129, a Soviet submarine, and the USS Scorpion, an American submarine. 2 of these submarines were in supposed combat when they were lost. The INS Dhaka and K-129 and the USS Scorpion have all been found, but the Minerve is still lost to this day in the Mediterranean Sea. The real cause of all these underwater vessels going missing is still unknown to this day. Coconut crabs. Coconut crab, also known as the rubber crab, is the largest land arthropod on Earth. Bigger than any other crab, they are known to hunt birds and coconuts. Residing on islands in the Pacific and Indian Ocean, coconut crabs are now extinct in some parts of the world where they used to flourish. Coconut crabs can weigh up to 4 kilograms and have giant pincers that execute a pinching force of over 130 kilograms. Coconut crabs have also been known to feast on an entire pig carcass. Blue whale sound. Blue whales are the largest animals ever to exist, coming in weighing 136,000 kilograms. The sound that comes from them is extremely loud, as they can produce a sound at 188 decibels. A plane's jet engine only produces a sound of 140. Here is a blue whale's sound. Blue whale groups usually make calls that range in the 10 and 40 Hz frequencies. Humans can only hear in 20 Hz frequencies and upwards. Blue whales are so loud that the sound can supposedly kill you if you are too close by. "400-year-old shark." 400-year-old shark refers to the fact that recently, a female Greenland shark was discovered to be 400 years old. Greenland sharks are now known as the oldest living vertebrates ever. With being some of the oldest living vertebrates, Greenland sharks are also some of the largest sharks on Earth, reaching up to 7 meters in length. Supposedly, there could be more Greenland sharks swimming in tropical waters all across the world. We haven't found them yet, but they prefer the darker depths of the ocean, as it is very cold down there. Yonaguni Monument. The Yonaguni Monument is a mysterious stone structure that eerily looks like a man-made structure. The structure itself is composed of sandstone and mudstone and is thousands of years old. An expedition was done in 1968 where local divers discovered this stone monument. A professor believes this structure to be man-made, whereas academic society believes this to be a natural rock formation. I'll let you decide on whether it's man-made or not. Immortal jellyfish. Teratopsis docheri, also known as the immortal jellyfish, is a jellyfish that is biologically immortal while still being capable of being killed or dying to disease. Other than that, the immortal jellyfish cannot die by aging, meaning its lifespan is technically infinite. The way it is immortal is through repeating life cycles. Once the jellyfish is sexually mature, it is then ready to repeat the birth process again. If it is in any sort of danger, the jellyfish will return to its sexually immature state. This is also known as transdifferentiation. We are currently studying this jellyfish for biological, aging, and medicine research. Big fin squid. Big fin squid are a rarely seen species of cephalopod. Video evidence of these giant squids tell us that we've only seen juvenile members of this species, and they are gigantic. We aren't sure if we've ever seen an adult. The arms and tentacles of this animal are huge, coming in at 13 to 26 feet long. We still don't know how they feed with these enormous appendages. The big fin squid is the deepest found squid ever. Point Nemo. Point Nemo is the most remote place on Earth, being the furthest away from land out of any island on Earth. Point Nemo is so desolate that the closest humans that pass by are astronauts flying past in the International Space Station. Lying in the Pacific Ocean, Point Nemo has little to no life on the island due to large amounts of nutrients being blocked by the South Pacific water vortex. Point Nemo, meaning point no one in Latin, truly is the most lonesome place on Earth. Biblical Leviathan. The biblical Leviathan is a giant sea serpent noted in the Bible and many other religious texts. The Leviathan is often a symbol of chaos, and Christian theologians believe the Leviathan to be linked with the demon of the sin of envy. The Leviathan can also be used as a term for the devil, as it tries to kill and eat God's creatures. Heraklion. Heraklion was an ancient Egyptian port city that had become flooded with water, and the remains of the ancient city would be found thousands of years later, deeply sunk underwater. In 2000, the European Institute of Maritime Archaeology found the city of Heraklion's treasures deep underwater in Abu Qir Bay. Hello Primates, thank you for watching this video. I really do appreciate it, and I love you very much. I hope you're just achieving your goals out here, taking care of you and your loved ones. I love you very much. Thank you for watching this huge iceberg tier list. This video took a long time to make, so I'd really appreciate it if you just checked out my other videos as well, because they also take a long time to make. And anyways, with saying that, I love you very much. Thank you for watching. Peace out.